Hey everyone, and welcome to another deep dive with us. Today we're getting you ready for one of the most important interviews in education.
That's right.
We're talking about the admissions coordinator position.
Yeah.
We're going beyond just what's in the job description
Yeah.
to really give you the insider knowledge using RoleCatcher's guides and interview questions.
Yeah.
We're going to help you understand not just what they ask,
Right.
but what they're really looking for when they're hiring an admissions coordinator.
Yeah.
So you can really stand out from the crowd.
What's really fascinating about this role is that people sometimes think it's just processing applications, but it's really so much more than that. You're a guide for students, you're a gatekeeper for the institution, and sometimes you even have to be a bit of a detective.
Okay, detective sounds a lot more interesting than like paper pusher. What does that actually look like day to day?
So imagine this. You're reviewing applications, and something just seems odd, like maybe the transcript doesn't quite match the writing style in the essay. It's your job to investigate and to follow up with the applicant.
Yeah.
And to make sure that everything is legitimate.
So it's kind of like a lot of responsibility on your shoulders.
Absolutely. You are ensuring fairness in the process and upholding the standards of the institution.
That's a great point. The stakes are really high. It's not just paperwork we're talking about. You're impacting someone's future.
That's exactly right. And that's why this deep dive is so important, because we're going to walk you through some of the toughest interview questions pulled straight from RoleCatcher's database.
Love that.
And give you the insider tips on how to, just nail those answers.
Okay, let's get into it.
Are you ready for the first one?
I am.
Okay, so let's start with a real classic. How do you stay up to date on changes in admissions policies and regulations?
Okay, that one seems pretty straightforward. I bet there's a lot more to it than meets the eye.
There is it's not just about knowing the rules.
Okay.
It's about showing your commitment to staying ahead of the curve and showing your passion for the field.
Yeah.
The interviewer wants to see that you're proactive and that you're interested in how education is evolving.
So how can someone make their answer to this question really stand out?
Think specifics.
Uh-huh.
So instead of just saying, oh, I read industry news,
Right.
mention actual publications like the Chronicle of Higher Education.
Sure.
Or if there's been a recent policy change, like the shift towards test optional admissions, you weave that in to show that you are engaged with the real world issues.
Great point. And that sets you up so nicely for a follow-up question, which could be
Exactly.
what's a recent change that you found particularly interesting? And bam, you've got a chance to really show off your knowledge.
You got it.
All right, next question.
Okay, another common one is, what experience do you have working with diverse student populations?
And this is so crucial because RoleCatcher's Career Guide highlights that as a major plus in this role to be able to work with diverse populations.
It makes sense because institutions really are striving for inclusivity these days. So your answer needs to go beyond just listing experiences.
Okay.
You need to think about times you've showed empathy or bridged cultural gaps or advocated for students from different backgrounds.
So instead of saying I volunteered at a tutoring center, I could say I helped first-generation college students navigate the financial aid process to make sure that they had equal access to resources.
That's a great example. You're painting a picture, you're highlighting the impact that you made, and that could also set you up for a follow-up question what challenges did you face and how did you overcome them?
Right. I'm seeing a theme here. It's not just about what you've done, it's how you reflect on it and showcase the skills that they're looking for.
That's exactly it. Are you ready for a tougher one?
Okay, bring it on.
All right. How do you handle difficult or upset applicants or parents?
Oh, I bet that comes up a lot because I know from the RoleCatcher's Career Guide that this job can be pretty emotionally demanding at times.
Oh, yeah, it can be.
Yeah.
Rejection is never easy. And you're definitely going to encounter people who are upset or frustrated. And the interviewer really wants to see that you can handle those situations with professionalism and grace.
So how do you strike that balance between empathy and, maintaining those boundaries?
It's all about demonstrating those de-escalation skills.
Okay.
So you want to mention your ability to listen actively, validate concerns, and explain that decision-making process clearly, even if it's not the news that they want to hear.
So specifics are good here too, right?
Absolutely. You could say that you calm down an anxious parent by walking them through the waitlist process step by step. Or maybe you helped a rejected student explore alternative options, so that shows that you care about their success.
Right, even if they don't end up at that particular institution.
Exactly, and that could lead to a follow-up question tell me about a time you had to deliver difficult news and how you approached it.
All right, getting into the nitty-gritty here.
All right, are you ready for another one?
I am.
Okay. How do you prioritize and manage your workload during peak admissions season?
Oh, at peak season, yeah, the career guide mentions those long hours. And, that's definitely part of this job, especially during those busy periods.
It's true. The interviewer wants to know that you can handle the pressure, that you can stay organized, and meet those deadlines without sacrificing accuracy.
So how do you show them that you can do all that?
Talk about your systems.
Okay.
Do you use a color-coded calendar or a project management app?
Yeah.
Like whatever your method is, describe it and explain how it helps you stay on top of things.
Okay.
And be sure to mention how you can adapt and reprioritize when those unexpected challenges pop up.
Okay, so don't just say, I'm organized. Say, I use a project management system to track each application's progress, and I'm always prepared to shift gears when deadlines change or new priorities emerge.
That's perfect, and that could lead to a follow-up question like,
Yeah.
tell me about a time you had to manage multiple deadlines all at once and how you made sure that everything was completed on time.
Okay, loving all these examples.
Okay, I've got another one for you. Are you ready? Okay, this one's about tech. Can you discuss your experience with admissions technology and software?
I knew the tech question was coming, and it seems like technology is changing everything in education these days.
Absolutely. From online applications to data analytics, technology is a huge part of admissions.
Yeah.
And the interviewer wants to know that you're comfortable in that digital world.
So how do you impress them with your answer to this question?
Be specific. Mention actual software programs that you've used.
Okay.
Like if you've got experience with CRM systems like Slate or Banner, highlight that.
Yeah.
Even if your experience is with more general tools like Excel or online communication platforms, you want to connect those skills to the admissions process.
Okay, so instead of saying, I'm good with computers, I
Okay.
could say, I'm proficient in Excel, which I use to track applicant data and generate reports in my previous role.
That's it. And then be ready for that follow-up question like,
Yeah.
tell me about a time you had to learn a new software program quickly and how you approached it.
Yeah, show that you're tech savvy and adaptable.
It-
All right, what's next?
Okay, this one's important. How do you ensure the privacy and security of applicant information?
Oh, super important question.
Mm-hmm.
We know data breaches are a major concern these days, and protecting sensitive information is paramount.
It is, and the interviewer wants to see that you understand how important that is and that you have a proactive approach to data security.
Okay, so how do I show them that I take this seriously?
First, mention any laws or regulations that you're familiar with, like FERPA,
Okay.
which is the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act.
Yes.
Then you can talk about specific practices that you follow, like using strong passwords, encrypting sensitive files, and being mindful of like physical security in the office.
So mentioning FERPA shows them that you're not just aware of security, but that you understand the specific legal framework around all that student data.
Exactly. And be ready for a follow-up. Like, tell me about a time you had to deal with a potential security breach and what steps you took to address it.
Okay, so not just knowing the rules, but being able to put them into practice.
That's right.
All right, what else do we have on the list?
Okay, this one's about customer service. Can you describe your approach to providing excellent customer service to prospective students and their families?
That makes sense because admissions coordinators are often that first point of contact for families.
You are the face of the institution, and you're dealing with people who are excited, stressed, and maybe even a little overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So how do you show that you can handle those interactions with care and professionalism?
Exactly.
Talk about your communication style. Are you a good listener?
Yeah.
Are you patient? Do you have a knack for explaining those complicated things really clearly? Highlight those skills.
Okay.
And mention some specific practices you follow, like responding to inquiries promptly and thoroughly,
Yeah.
anticipating questions, and going the extra mile to make families feel welcome.
So it's not just about being nice. It's about being proactive and really demonstrating a commitment to providing that excellent service.
That's exactly right. And be ready for follow-ups. Like, tell me about a time you had to deal with a particularly demanding parent or student and how you handled the situation.
Okay. Seeing that trend, being able to back those skills up with real-world examples is key.
It is. So, are you ready for the next question?
I am.
Okay, let's get to the heart of admissions. Can you walk me through your process for evaluating an applicant's file?
Ooh, I like this one.
Ah.
This is where things get interesting.
It is like you get a peek behind the curtain.
Yeah.
The interviewer wants to see that you have a systematic and thorough approach to evaluating those applications.
Yeah.
That you understand what the institution's looking for and that you can make good judgments.
Based on all those different factors.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So how do you walk them through that process clearly and impress them?
Right.
Start by outlining the key components that you typically review, like transcripts, test scores, essays, and letters of recommendation.
Okay.
And then you dive a little deeper into each one, like what are you looking for?
Yeah.
How do you weigh the different factors? What are those red flags?
Yeah.
And most importantly, how do you make sure that you're making fair and objective decisions?
So this is where all that knowledge of the institution's admissions criteria really comes in,
Oh,
right?
exactly. Mention any specific GPA requirements, test score thresholds,
Yeah.
or other things that are particularly important to the school or program you're interviewing for.
Okay.
It shows that you've done your homework
Right.
and you understand what makes a successful applicant.
So demonstrate your expertise in the general admissions process, but also the specific needs of that institution.
You got it, and be ready for follow-ups. Like,
Yeah.
tell me about a time you had to make a really difficult decision based on an applicant's file.
Okay.
Or how do you approach evaluating applications from students with unconventional backgrounds?
Ooh, that's a good one.
It is, right?
Okay, this is so valuable. I feel like I have a cheat sheet for this interview now.
Good. Are you ready for the next one?
Absolutely.
All right. How do you ensure accuracy and compliance in admissions processes?
This is big because there's no room for error when it comes to admissions, and there's a lot of regulations to navigate.
It's true. They are really assessing your meticulousness, your ability to follow those procedures, and your understanding of the importance of compliance.
So how do I convince them that I'm that detail-oriented, rule-following person that they're looking for?
Highlight your systems.
Okay.
So do you double check your data entry? Do you keep meticulous records? Do you use checklists to make sure that you've completed all the necessary steps? Share those strategies.
Okay.
And also mention your willingness to learn and to stay up to date on the latest regulations.
So it's not just about being capable of following the rules. It's about being committed to doing so.
Absolutely. And be ready for follow-up questions like,
Yeah.
tell me about a time you caught an error that could have had serious consequences.
Oh.
Or how do you stay informed about changes in admissions regulations?
Got it.
Okay, are you ready for another one?
Yes, bring it on.
All right. Can you discuss your experience with recruiting and retaining diverse enrollment?
Okay, this is a big one. Diversity and inclusion is a key focus for institutions across the country.
It is, and it's about more than just admitting a diverse group of students.
Yeah.
It's about creating that welcoming and supportive environment where all students can really thrive.
Okay, so how do I showcase my commitment to this part of admissions?
Share specific examples of your involvement in diversity-related initiatives.
Okay.
So have you participated in outreach programs to underrepresented communities?
Yeah.
Have you helped develop recruitment materials that are culturally sensitive and appealing to a wide range of students?
Great.
Have you worked on programs to support students from diverse backgrounds once they're enrolled?
Right, so go beyond just saying you value diversity and actually demonstrate your active involvement.
Yes, and be ready for follow-up questions like,
Okay.
what are some of the challenges you've encountered in recruiting or retaining diverse students, and how did you address them?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Or, what are your thoughts on the role of an admissions coordinator in fostering a sense of belonging for all students?
Wow, these are deep questions.
They are.
It's clear that they're looking for candidates who are truly passionate about diversity and inclusion and have the experience to back it up.
That's right. Are you ready
Yeah.
for one more?
Hit me.
Okay. Can you discuss your experience with financial aid and scholarships?
Oh, this one can feel intimidating because financial aid is so complex and constantly changing.
It's true, but the interviewer doesn't expect you to be a financial aid expert.
Okay, good.
They just want to see that you understand the basics,
Okay.
that you're comfortable guiding students through the process, and that you know where to find resources.
Makes sense.
Okay, so how do you approach this one, even if you don't have like a ton of financial aid experience?
Right.
Be honest about your level of knowledge. If you've worked directly with financial aid applications or you have in-depth knowledge of scholarships, highlight that. But if you don't, focus on your willingness to learn and connect students with the right resources.
So it's about framing your answer in a way that really emphasizes your strengths, even if you're not a financial aid expert.
Exactly, and be ready for those follow-ups. Like,
Yeah.
what are some of the most common challenges students face when applying for financial aid, and how would you advise them? Or what resources would you recommend to students who are looking for scholarships?
Got it. So it's about being resourceful and a supportive advocate for the students, even in the world of financial aid.
That's right. Ready for the last one in this section?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Why are you interested in this position at our institution?
The classic why this job question seems simple, but it can be tricky.
It can. The interviewer wants to know you've done your research, that you get their mission and values,
Yeah.
and that you really want to work there, not just in any admissions office.
So how do I make my answer stand out and convey that genuine interest and enthusiasm?
Focus on specifics.
Okay.
What drew you to that particular institution? Right.
Is it their academic programs, their commitment to diversity, their location, whatever it is, connected to your own values?
Okay, so instead of saying, I want to work in higher education,
Yeah.
I could say, I'm incredibly impressed with your commitment to sustainability, which aligns with my passion for environmental stewardship.
That's perfect. Make it personal. Make it
That-
specific and show them you've put in the effort to understand what that institution is all about.
And I imagine those follow-up questions could be like, what are your long-term career goals and how do you see this fitting into them?
Exactly.
Or what do you know about our recent initiatives and how do those excite you?
Yeah, it's all about showing them that you're not just looking for a job, but a place to build a career
Okay.
and to make a contribution.
This has been so helpful. We've covered so many questions, and I feel like I have a much better idea of what they're looking for in an admissions coordinator.
Great. I'm glad to hear that. Remember, these are just a few examples of the questions that you might encounter.
Right.
But be prepared. Be yourself and show your passion. And let's not forget about all those great RoleCatcher resources that can help you nail these interviews. Their AI-powered tools can really take your prep to the next level.
Absolutely. They offer AI-powered CV and resume tailoring that decodes job descriptions to make sure your application stands out.
Yeah,
They've got AI feedback on interview answers that goes way beyond the generic advice.
love that.
And they've even got video practice with AI analysis.
It's like having a personal coach right there in your pocket.
It is. I highly recommend it. It's a great resource for anybody who wants to land their dream job in education.
Totally. I'm definitely going to be checking out RoleCatcher's AI tools to step up my game.
It's a good idea. You know, it's interesting about that last question, that why this institution question.
Yeah.
It really shows how important it is to do your research
Right.
and be genuinely interested in that specific school or program.
Yeah, it's like going on a first date. You wouldn't show up without knowing at least something about the person, right?
Exactly. Flattery will only get you so far. You got to show them you've taken the time to understand what they're about, their values, their mission, what makes them unique.
Yeah, so don't just like repeat what's on their website.
No.
Find something that genuinely resonates with you
Right.
and then connect that back to your own experiences and what you want to do.
Okay, so speaking of connecting, let's go to a question that's all about building relationships
Okay.
with students. How would you describe your communication style when interacting with prospective students and their families?
This is so key because you're not just an administrator,
Right.
you're like that first impression for a lot of families.
That's true. And how you communicate can really make or break a student's decision to even apply
Right.
or to enroll.
So how do you come across as friendly and approachable,
Yeah.
but still maintain that sense of professionalism?
Think about what your strengths are as a communicator. Are you a good listener?
Uh-huh.
Are you patient and empathetic?
Yeah.
Can you explain those complicated things in a way that makes sense? Right.
Highlight all of those qualities.
And I imagine specific examples are always helpful.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like maybe you have a special knack for calming down those anxious parents or helping students feel confident
Yeah.
as they're going through the application process. Share those stories to bring it to life.
And don't forget to mention specific strategies like using personalized email templates or doing those follow-up calls.
Yes.
Shows that you're organized and proactive.
Exactly. Okay, let's get into a question about problem solving.
Okay.
Can you tell me about a time you had to deal with a particularly challenging applicant or parent and how you handled the situation?
Ooh, this is a tough one.
It is.
Because you're bound to encounter some difficult personalities,
Right.
and they want to know you can stay calm
Yes.
under pressure.
So you really want to emphasize your de-escalation skills. Did you listen to their concerns?
No.
Did you try to find some common ground?
Yeah.
Did you stay professional? Even when you're facing anger and frustration, share those strategies. I'm guessing a positive outcome always helps.
Oh, of course, if you were able to successfully resolve it, highlight that.
Yeah.
But even if things didn't go perfectly,
Right.
you can still talk about what you learned
Yeah.
from that experience.
So even a failure can be a learning opportunity.
It can.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay. Are you ready for another one?
Yes.
All right. Let's see. What experience do you have with Admissions, software, and databases. Can you name any specific programs you've used?
Oh, the tech question. We knew it was coming.
You did.
Yeah, and we talked earlier about how technology is just becoming so essential.
Right.
It's not enough to just say, I'm good with computers.
No, you have to be specific.
Yeah.
You got to mention those programs, the actual platforms you've used, like Slate or Banner or online application portals, even data analysis tools.
And if you don't have experience with like the specialized admission software, don't worry.
Yeah.
Just highlight those transferable skills. Like, are you good at Excel? Have you used database management programs, even those online communication tools?
Right. It's all about showing them that you're adaptable and you're willing to learn new systems.
And quickly.
Quickly.
Yeah. Okay, so instead of just listing off the names of programs, really dive into what you can do with those tools.
That's it.
Okay.
All right, next question.
Okay.
This one's about attention to detail. How do you ensure the accuracy and completeness of applicant files?
Accuracy is crucial.
It is.
Absolutely crucial.
No room for error.
No?
They want to know you're on top of it.
Yeah, that you're meticulous.
Meticulous, yes.
Okay, so this is where those organizational skills come in.
It is, do you double check everything? Do you use checklists?
Yeah.
Do you have a system for verifying information?
Right.
Share all of that.
And it's not just about catching those mistakes.
No.
It's about preventing them in the first place.
Yes.
So highlight those proactive things that you do, like developing clear guidelines
Yes.
for document submission or using automated checks.
Perfect. And be ready to talk about a time when you caught an error
Oh, yeah.
that could have had serious consequences.
Shows you're vigilant.
It does.
I love these real-world examples. They really help.
They do.
Okay, what's next?
Okay, let's talk about ethics.
Okay.
How do you handle situations where you suspect an applicant might have falsified information on their application?
Ooh, tough one.
It is.
Yeah, because you want to uphold the integrity of the process.
Yeah.
But also treat people fairly and with respect.
So they want to know that you take ethics seriously and you have a process for these sensitive situations.
Okay, so how do you navigate that ethical gray area?
Right. You want to emphasize your commitment to fairness and integrity.
Yeah.
And then you outline the steps you take to investigate.
Okay.
Like carefully reviewing the application, comparing the information, maybe reaching out to the applicant for clarification.
Okay, and it's important to follow those established protocols.
Oh, absolutely. Mention any internal policies or guidelines that your institution has.
Right.
It shows that you're not just going rogue.
Right.
You're following procedure.
And I'm guessing documentation is key.
Essential.
Yeah.
You would want to document your findings and your communication for transparency and accountability.
Okay, so be ready to discuss how you balance the need for a thorough investigation with the applicant's right to privacy.
Yes.
This is complex.
It is. Admissions coordinators have to be more than just organizers.
Right.
And communicators, they're ethical decision makers.
Absolutely. Okay, well.
Okay, this one's about thinking on your feet.
Okay.
Can you tell me about a time you had to adapt to a sudden change in the admissions process?
Oh, yeah. Adaptability.
Yes.
Things are constantly changing.
They are.
New policies, new technology.
Right. They want to know you can handle those curveballs.
Gracefully
and find solutions.
Okay, so how do you show them that you are adaptable?
Pick an example that really highlights your ability to adjust. Maybe a new regulation came out or there's a technical glitch that messed things up.
Yeah.
Describe the steps you took to adapt and what the outcome was.
I'm guessing it's also good to mention what you learned from it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That shows that you can reflect and that you're committed to improving.
So it's not just what happened, but how you grew from it.
That's it. Are you ready for another?
I am.
Okay. How about this one? How do you stay informed about changes in admissions, policies, trends, and best practices?
Oh, staying ahead of the curve.
Yes. Always learning.
Yeah, because things are always changing in admissions.
They are.
So you have to be a lifelong learner.
They want to see that you're proactive.
Yeah.
And that you're genuinely interested in staying at the forefront of the field.
Okay, so how do you show them that you're not just okay with the status quo?
Yeah. Showcase your resources.
Okay.
Talk about those conferences, the webinars, the courses that you've taken.
Yeah.
Mention publications that you read, like the Journal of College Admission or the Chronicle of Higher Education if you belong to professional organizations. Mention those too.
And don't just list them off.
No.
Share what you actually took away from those experiences.
What did you learn?
Yeah.
How did it change how you approach your work?
Okay, so it's not just what you know, but how you apply that knowledge.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm feeling inspired to step up my own professional development game.
Good.
What's next?
Okay, let's see. How do you ensure the privacy and security of student records and data?
Data privacy.
Big one.
Super important with those data breaches
It is.
happening more and more.
Yes, protecting that information is so important,
Yeah.
especially in education.
Right.
So they want to know you understand data privacy regulations, that you're committed to handling everything ethically,
Right.
and that you pay attention to detail when you're entering and managing that data.
Okay, so how do you convince them you're the one they
Right.
can trust?
You want to start by acknowledging how important it is,
Right.
especially in education,
Uh-huh.
and then you discuss specific measures that you take to keep things accurate and protect that sensitive information.
And this is where mentioning FERPA again is really helpful.
It is.
Yeah.
You can talk about strong passwords, encrypting files, locking cabinets,
Oh.
following those protocols for
Yeah.
sharing information.
And it's not just about following rules.
Right.
It's about having that respect for how sensitive this information is.
Absolutely.
Uh-huh.
Be ready to talk about a time when you had to deal with a potential breach,
Yeah.
a privacy concern. How did you handle it? What did you do?
Okay, so you're showing, the rules, and you can put them into practice.
Yes. Are you ready for another?
Hit me.
Okay. Let's see. Can you describe a time you had to collaborate with others in the admissions office to achieve a common goal?
Teamwork.
Yes. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah, collaboration is so important.
Yeah, it is, especially in admissions where you're all working towards that same goal
Right.
of enrolling those qualified, diverse students.
So how do you show off those collaborative skills?
Choose a specific example
Okay.
that highlights how you work on a team.
Yeah.
Maybe a project you worked on, a tough situation,
Uh-huh.
or a time you had to help a coworker who
Right.
was struggling.
And it's not just about describing the project,
No.
but your specific contributions.
What did you do?
Yeah.
How did you communicate with your colleagues?
Right.
What were the challenges, and how did you overcome them?
And on a positive note.
If it was a successful project, highlight the outcome.
Yeah.
But even if it wasn't, you can still talk about what you learned.
Yeah, those failures can be valuable.
They can.
All right, are you ready for another?
Yes.
How do you manage your workload and stay organized during peak admissions season when the pressure is high?
Oh, peak season. We know those long hours.
Yes.
That demanding workload.
It's a lot. Yeah, and they want to know you can handle it
They do.
without burning out.
Yes.
Okay, so time management and organizational skills.
Yes. Do you use a calendar,
Yeah.
to-do lists?
Yeah.
A color-coded system?
Right.
Whatever works, describe it.
And it's not just about being organized, it's about being adaptable.
And resilient.
Yeah.
Prioritize daily. Stay calm.
Okay.
Be ready to talk about a time when you had a lot of deadlines, competing priorities, unexpected challenges.
Right.
How did you handle it all?
So not just handling the workload,
No.
but thriving under pressure.
Exactly.
Okay, feeling ready for peak season.
Good.
What's next?
Okay, this one's about your passion. Why did you choose a career in admissions? What excites you about working with students?
Oh, let your enthusiasm shine.
Yes.
This is your chance.
Let them know you're not just there for a paycheck.
Right.
You're excited about this work.
Okay, so what drew you to this field?
Think about it.
Yeah.
Was it a positive experience as a student?
Do you want to help others?
Yeah.
Are you passionate about higher ed?
Right.
Share those stories.
Don't be afraid to get personal.
No, connect your own values to this work.
Okay.
And be ready to talk about what's rewarding about the job.
Right.
Connecting with students, evaluating applications,
Yeah.
seeing students succeed.
Okay, so passion, purpose, commitment,
Yes.
feeling inspired.
Good.
Okay, what else?
Let's talk big picture. What are some of the key challenges and opportunities facing the field of admissions today?
Ooh, the interviewer wants to know you're not just focused on the day-to-day.
No.
You're thinking about the bigger issues.
The trends, the issues that are shaping the field.
Yeah, like the increasing competition.
Yes.
The changing demographics.
Right.
The rising costs.
Uh-huh.
And, of course, those ethical considerations.
Absolutely. And you can also talk about trends like holistic review, predictive analytics, the importance of support services. Okay, so you're aware of the challenges,
Yes.
but excited about the opportunities.
Yes.
How do you frame those opportunities?
Talk about the positive impact you can make. Can you help create a more equitable process?
Yeah.
Can you use technology to reach more students? Can you contribute to a culture of success?
Okay, so it's about your vision,
Right.
your problem-solving skills,
Yes.
and your commitment to making a difference.
Exactly.
Okay, feeling ready to tackle those challenges.
Good.
What's next?
Okay, last one. Do you have any questions for me?
The chance to turn the tables.
It is.
Show them you're curious,
Yes.
that you're engaged.
You're interested.
Yeah,
And it's a chance for you to learn more, too.
right. So what are some good questions to ask?
Focus on questions that show your interest in the institution,
Okay.
the role of the team.
Yeah.
You might ask about the culture of the office, the strategic priorities,
Right.
professional development opportunities.
And don't be afraid to ask about the interviewer's experiences.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Ask about their career path, what they enjoy about working there.
Okay, so it's about showing your curiosity
Yes.
and being thoughtful.
And your genuine interest
Yeah.
in the opportunity.
Okay, feeling ready to impress with those insightful questions.
Good. Remember, these are just a few examples.
Right.
But prepare thoroughly, think critically, show your passion, and you'll be on your way to that dream job.
And don't forget about RoleCatcher.
Oh, yes.
Amazing resources. AI-powered tools to help you tailor your application, perfect your answers.
It's like having a coach right in your pocket.
Totally.
I highly encourage everyone to check out RoleCatcher.
Yes, an investment.
It is.
Okay, we've covered so much.
We have.
Feeling inspired.
I'm glad.
What are some key takeaways for our listeners?
Remember, being an admissions coordinator is about so much more than paperwork.
Yeah.
You are a guide, an advocate, a champion
Right.
for those students.
Helping them navigate higher ed and achieve their dreams.
Exactly. You're making a difference.
Yeah.
And to land that role, you have to show them your organizational skills,
Yeah.
but also your empathy, your communication, your problem solving, your commitment to diversity.
And of course, RoleCatcher is the secret weapon
It is.
to help you do all of that, those AI tools.
Yes.
Take your prep to the next level.
Absolutely. Okay, so before we move on to our final segment,
Okay.
let's do a quick recap. We started by talking about the world of admissions coordinators,
Uh-huh.
the responsibilities, skills, and challenges.
Right.
Then we did a deep dive into those interview questions.
Yeah.
We talked about what the interviewer is thinking,
Uh-huh.
gave you some tips
Yeah.
for crafting those answers.
And of course, those AI-powered tools from RoleCatcher
Yes.
to help you tailor your application and practice your delivery.
That's right.
It's been a lot of information,
It has.
but I'm hoping our listeners are feeling empowered and excited to tackle those interviews.
Yeah.
Okay, for our final segment, we're going to shift gears a bit
Okay.
and talk about the evolving role of an admissions coordinator in this rapidly changing world.
I love that.
It's not just about getting the job.
Yeah.
It's about understanding the bigger picture,
The big picture.
how this role is adapting to the challenges and opportunities.
Exactly. So one of the biggest changes is the emphasis on holistic review,
Yeah,
moving beyond grades and test scores,
right.
looking at background experiences, potential.
Recognizing that students are more than just numbers.
They are.
Yeah, they're individuals with unique stories.
Absolutely. And admissions coordinators are key to making that happen. They're
Right.
implementing those practices, making sure everyone is considered fairly.
And this ties into the whole diversity and inclusion piece.
It does. Holistic review lets you build a more diverse student body.
Right, by recognizing different perspectives and experiences.
Exactly. And speaking of change, how is technology shaping the role?
Oh yeah, big question.
It's transforming everything from recruiting to application process,
Right.
the communication data analysis.
You got to be tech savvy these days.
You do comfortable with all those different programs
Yeah.
and platforms.
So it's not just about managing paper files anymore.
No, it's about digital data,
Right.
online tools,
Uh-huh.
even AI.
And this trend is only going to continue
It is.
as technology keeps evolving.
Adaptability is key.
Absolutely.
You got to be flexible, willing to learn, embrace change.
Okay, so it's about staying ahead of the curve
This.
and being prepared for the future.
The future of admissions.
Feeling energized and ready.
Good.
Okay, before we wrap up,
Yes.
let's talk about student support services.
Oh, such an important piece.
Yeah, it's not just about admitting them.
Right.
It's about supporting them.
Throughout their journey,
Exactly.
admissions coordinators are connecting students with resources,
Right.
academic advising,
Mhm.
financial aid,
Yeah.
career counseling, mental health.
So it's about creating that supportive environment.
It is a holistic environment where students can thrive,
And that requires...
communication skills,
Yeah.
empathy,
Uh-huh.
a genuine desire to help them succeed.
You're seeing the student as a whole person.
Yes.
Okay.
So as we wrap up,
Okay.
let's leave our listeners with a final thought.
Okay.
The world of admissions is changing so fast.
Right.
And the role of an admissions coordinator is more important than ever.
Yeah.
You are the gatekeepers, the guides, the champions.
Yeah.
Embrace that responsibility.
Okay.
Stay curious. Never stop learning.
Beautifully said. And remember, with the right tools and resources like those from RoleCatcher,
Yes.
you can navigate those challenges,
Right.
seize the opportunities,
Yes.
and build a fulfilling career that makes a difference.
That's it.
Well said.
It's an exciting time to be in education.
It is.
I'm confident that the future holds amazing things.
Yeah.
Let's work together to shape that future
I love it.
and make a positive impact on students everywhere.
Okay. Future admissions coordinators, embrace those challenges and opportunities.
Yes,
We're rooting for you.
we are.
And that's a wrap on our deep dive into admissions coordinator interview prep
That's right.
and the evolving role of this profession
Yes.
in this rapidly changing world.
We'll see you next time.
For another episode of The Deep Dive. You know, it's amazing to think about all the ways this role has evolved
It really is.
and how technology is shaping the future.
Yeah.
But with all these changes,
Yeah.
there's one thing that's still so important, the human element.
Absolutely. No matter how advanced technology gets, it can never replace that personal touch, the empathy, the connection that admissions coordinators bring.
That's so true.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's all about those relationships,
Right.
understanding students' needs and helping them navigate one of the biggest transitions in their lives.
And you know what's really cool is that RoleCatcher's AI tools actually can enhance that human element.
Oh, interesting. So it's not about replacing that human touch.
No, it's about augmenting it. Well, think about it. Their AI can help you tailor your communication
Yeah.
to each student, personalize your outreach,
Right.
and even predict challenges they might face so you can offer support proactively.
So it's like having an AI assistant,
It is.
helping you be more effective
More efficient,
and free up your time and energy.
so you can focus on those connections.
Okay. I'm starting to see how those AI tools can be game changers
They can be.
for admissions coordinators
Yeah.
who want to really excel in this evolving field.
Absolutely.
And remember, RoleCatcher isn't just for interview prep.
No, it's for your whole career.
Yeah, we talked about the AI-powered CV and resume. Help the interview practice with feedback. All those resources for exploring different career paths.
It's like a career coach right in your pocket.
Yeah, okay. So let's shift gears and talk about the final piece of this deep dive. What can our listeners do to stand out and land their dream admissions coordinator job?
You've got to go beyond what's expected.
Okay.
Don't just check the boxes. You need to show them that passion for education, a deep understanding of admissions, and a real commitment to making a difference.
It's those things you can't put on a resume.
The soft skills.
Yeah. Empathy, enthusiasm, the drive to make a difference.
Let your personality shine through.
Right.
Be authentic. Be engaging. Be ready to share your story.
And highlight those unique skills
Yes.
that make you different.
Maybe you have a background in data analysis, or you love mentoring.
Yeah.
Or you're great at building relationships with diverse communities.
Those are the things that make you memorable
They do.
and show them you're the perfect fit.
Yes. And remember, it's a two-way street.
Oh, right.
It's not just them evaluating you.
Yeah, you're evaluating them too.
Ask good questions.
Okay.
Get a sense of the culture.
Yeah.
Make sure it's a place where you can thrive.
So find the right match for your skills and your values.
Exactly. The job search can be tough,
It can be.
but with the right prep, the right mindset, and resources like RoleCatcher,
Yeah.
you can do it.
Okay, so to our listeners out there who are on this journey,
Yeah.
be prepared,
Be authentic
be bold.
and never give up.
The world needs you,
It does.
those passionate and dedicated people.
Go make a difference.
What a great way to end this episode.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of admissions coordinators.
Yes.
We hope you learned a lot and feel inspired.
Absolutely.
Remember hard work, dedication, and RoleCatcher.
The power of RoleCatcher.
You can do anything you set your mind to.
You can.
Until next time, keep diving deep and chase those dreams.